Hey everybody, Josh here with easyIOV.com, that is voice spelled backwards.com, coming at you from the studio here with a new video today all about the 9900K processor from Intel. We're going to be putting this in here. No, I'm just kidding. It can't go in here. Way too much heat. There's no way that I can put that in there. We got the 9700K in there. You may remember that from our build video, but I've got another case over here. I have the Cougar gaming case from QBX. This is still a small desktop size case. Obviously, it's not as small as this one. This is more of a shoebox size, and this is more of a small tower, but the Cougar case is actually going to allow us to put significantly more cooling into and on the case. You'll notice over here that I had to do a little modification in order to really put the cooling I wanted to have in this. I think it's hilarious. You guys be the judge. But without further ado, I'm gonna move this stuff aside. We're going to start disassembling the Shadow and start putting stuff into the Cougar. Let's do it. So I've been using this case for a couple months now. If you'd like to see the build video for this, I'll go ahead and link it. It should pop up in the top right corner of your screen now.
Video card is loose. Got the power cables unplugged here. Alright, so that should just be able to slide out nice and easy. There we go.
I definitely recommend picking up some dust filters for your case. You can pick them up on Amazon. I'll put a link to some in the description below. I guess the next thing we're going to do is start unplugging the cables for the power supply. It is fully modular, so I can just pull them out and set them aside.
Nice out attempt of cable management. Alright. Pull it off the motherboard. Alright, cool. Cables are all undone as much as they can be. This one needs to stay there for a bit. Let's flip this back around and actually unplug that from the board. See what else we need to undo. CD cables out. I don't need this plugged in. What else? Let's just go ahead and pull the power supply now. It's pretty much ready to get pulled. Alright. And let's go ahead and do the radiator. Alright, radiator out. Over.
So if you're running one of these EVGA closed loop all-in-one coolers, one of the biggest issues that I had was figuring out exactly how I needed to plug it in. So in order to get this working correctly, especially with EVGA's software, you do need to have the motherboard cable plugged into CPU 1 or CPU fan 1 on this board specifically, probably on pretty much every other board as well. And you do actually need to have the USB plugged in order for it to talk to the software all correctly. And then the fans plug into the two connectors that say to fans. On the 120mm radiator, you're only plugging in one fan. So we can unplug all that now, and we'll go ahead and get the radiator out. Go on from there. Alright, that is out, and the USB disconnected from the header. This guy we will save for a different build some other time. Why not, right? Alright, let's go ahead and get the front panel board all disconnected here. And last but not least, we'll go ahead and pull the motherboard out as well.
Motherboard is out. Set this case aside entirely.
Alright, it's time. Let's talk about the ridiculous modification that I did to this. What you see here, specifically up here, I took a panel of the case and actually put my 240mm radiator on top. It really wasn't too difficult to mod this to be able to fit it, so if you are interested, basically you just have to shave down everything on the top so the radiator sits nice and flush. The screw holes are already there, but I did have to drill them out a little bit in order to get everything to line up correctly. But once I drilled out the screw holes, cut everything, flushed it, I made a little hole so that the heatsink for the CPU could actually go through this top panel. So I had to run the CPU heatsink through the metal itself. So there's actually a pretty decent sized hole here, but with the fans and everything else there, you can't really even tell. In fact, it looks pretty good for a pretty hacky mod. In fact, what they, but I mean the case manufacturers, what they want you to do is use this little flippy floppy panel on the side to be able to mount a 120mm radiator here. They don't say that they support a 240, but I didn't even want to try and hang this on the flippy floppy panel. So the first thing I want to do in this case is get the power supply installed and the motherboard, because those two components take up the majority of the inside of the case here, with whatever else is left being filled with fans, basically. So we're gonna go ahead and slide this guy out for the time being. Here you can see I've got the panel, the fans, and then the radiator, and the cables go right through the top panel itself. So honestly, it couldn't have worked out any nicer. There. So then the power supply sits vertically right here. So what we have to do is this. Just to help. Possibly. Maybe not. What do you want from me? What the crap do you want, broski? How does this fit? Is that bent? How does that fit? Because obviously this has to go on the back because that's where you plug it in and where you power it. So I want it like that. Yeah. It's exactly how I want it. It's just whether or not it's actually going to go in. I don't know. Let's look. Flippity floppity. No, dude, I'm like, how is this possible? I can't put it in that way no matter what. How is this supposed to fit? Well, really, dude? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's supposed to snap in and I'm just supposed to force it, but like, this is way off. It's not gonna fit that way. So first complaint about the Cougar is the abysmal manual. Doesn't actually say what type of power supply you're supposed to use for this. The only variable they give me is that I can't have a jack here that's actually horizontally flat. I don't have that. I've got a vertical jack, power plug, whatever. So it should have fit. It doesn't fit. Not sure what to do. I guess we're just gonna have to hit pause and come back to it tomorrow. That's it for this video. If you liked it, please hit the thumbs up. It really does help us out. Leave a comment below if you have any questions. And if you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you get notified on all our new videos. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more of our content, click the video over here or even the video over here. You'll enjoy both of them. Until next time.